Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Or if you are new here, welcome to the channel. So it is that time of the week again. It's Power Performance Index time, and yeah, we had some crazy we had some crazy moves. I know I literally had one. Literally had like an entire row fall back. Fall back because they all had massive losing streaks, which a few of them broke, which was good. But we get started here on this week, and back at number 32. It's kind of a familiar spot for these guys, unfortunately. And yeah, they lost three in a row, and that's San Jose. So the Sharks again. Again, they're fun to watch. They played. They played the Wild tonight, and Askarov was in net. He's young, and I think San Jose's got. I think San Jose's got a decent, you know, young goaltender to build around, and yeah, it's wait for the draft lottery for them. Number 31, moving up one. They didn't do great this week either. They've lost their last two, and that's of course Chicago. And so the Hawks, of course, these two teams. It is literally wait for the draft lottery and see what happens. But Chicago, of course, with Bedard, they've got. I think both the Sharks and the Hawks to me have, I think a relatively bright future. Number 30. Now I was hoping these guys would have a bright future, and that bright future just it doesn't seem to want to materialize for them. I don't know. Buffalo again. Buffalo at 30. I don't know. They look good in some games, then they don't look good in others. They're I don't know. I don't know what really more anybody could say or do about the Buffalo Sabres. Other than this looks like it's going to be another year without a playoff appearance for Buffalo, which is going to make 14 years in a row. Yeah, so they got something's got to give. I don't know what they got to do in Buffalo, but yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Number 29. These guys dropped two spots, and they just. I don't know if the talent is just overrated or what it is, but Seattle is 29. I don't know what. Oh, Grubauer's had his struggles. DeCord, I think, is a really good young goaltender. I think he's going to be their starter for the future. And they've got Beniers, they've got Wright, they've got Montour, they've got the talent to be a playoff contender, at least I think, but it's not really showing it on the ice right now. Number 28. This is one of the big drops of the week. They just they went on a little bit of a losing streak that wasn't that great. They dropped 8 spots. That's Philadelphia. One of Philly's big issues right now is the goaltending. The goaltending has not been the greatest. Fedotov hasn't been, he hasn't exactly lived up to, I think, what a lot of people were thinking. Of course, Kolosov has not been that great either. Harrison I think he just came back from injury. And yeah, Philadelphia's got, they have some good stretches. They have some bad stretches. Philly is just, they're one of those teams that's just, can they make a run at the playoffs? There's still a lot of time left in the season. We'll have to see. Number 27. Now this team, they've dropped 2 spots, and they had a little bit of a losing streak. They went 1-2 on the week. And they're 2-6-2 in their last 10. They lost their last one, and again, this is a team I could see them still make a run toward the playoffs, and that's Utah. So Utah, to me, is a team that could make some noise. It depends on how they play. And they're this week they struggled. They had their down points, and we'll see if they can find a way to get back out of that funk. Number 26, dropping 3 from the week prior. They went 0-3-1 on the week. It's one of the reasons why they dropped. And they've lost 3 in a row, and that's Anaheim. Now, Anaheim is a team that I think could be a very interesting team to watch. They have the ability, they have talent. A guy like Troy Terry, Trevor Zegras, of course, Dostal and Gibson in goal. The talent is there for Anaheim. Whether or not I don't think they'll be a playoff team this year, but again, I think they've been okay. They've definitely been better than I think a lot of people thought they would have been. Number 25. They also lost both of their games that they played this week. They go down 1 spot. They've lost 2 in a row. And that, of course, is Nashville. So the Predators are 25. They're on the end of the bottom row, but they're just not. It's just not there. It's they got off to such a bad start. It's hard to get out of that. It's hard to get out of that. When you start out so slow like that, it's hard to climb out of that. And this is a team that I think they're going to be having issues trying to climb out of this trying to climb out of this rut that they're in. And I don't really see it. I don't really see it happening for them. At least, not this year, at least. Number 24. Now, this is a team they've kind of gotten out of the rut. They were in a very bad spot. And it looks like they're trying to climb out of it. They have won 2 in a row. And they moved up 4 spots, and that's the Rangers. So the New York Rangers are the talent is there for them. There's no excuse for them to be as bad as they've been. Shesterkin playing in net, with Zibanejad, Kreider, Fox, Panarin. This is a team that is really, really good. Really, really good. Sorry, I had to close the little lid on the fish tank there. But talking about the Rangers, they're a team. They're good. The talent is there. They won the President's Trophy last year. You're a pretty good team if you can do that. Finish with the best record in the entire NHL. And they've dug themselves a hole, but I don't think it's not too late for them to get out of it. And I think they're trying to get out of it. We'll see if they can continue it. Number 23, dropping 5. This is one of the teams I talked about that was in this row that went on a severe losing streak, and they ended up dropping because of it. They dropped 5. That's Pittsburgh. So the Penguins, they had. I mean, no, granted, I think two of the losses they had were in overtime. I think one was an overtime loss, one was a shootout loss, but it was a losing streak. They had lost like 4 or 5 in a row. And it just they weren't doing great. I mean, over the last 10, yeah, 3-4-3 over their last 10 games. So yeah, the Rangers kind of deserve to drop. And you know, I think they're still a team that I think can make a run toward the playoffs. I think they can turn it around. Just I mean they didn't really have that good of a week this week. So yeah, they ended up dropping 5 spots. Number 22. These guys are trying to turn it around. They went 3-0 on the week, so they've won 3 in a row, and it's moved them up. Yeah, it moved them up 6 spots. That's the Islanders. So the New York Islanders are trying to make some. They're trying to make some noise here. They're trying to say, hey, don't forget about us. We're still here, and we're gonna try to make things difficult for some of these teams. And the Islanders are definitely a team that can do it. And yeah, winning 3 straight, it's definitely a good way to do it. Number 21, dropping 6 spots. They finally broke their losing streak. They were on a 6-game losing streak, and they finally broke it. And yeah, they ended up dropping 6 spots. They're 3-6-1 in the last 10. That's Boston. So the Bruins they broke that losing streak though. They had a 6-game losing streak. They broke it. So that definitely helps. It has dropped them out of third place. I believe they're fourth in the Atlantic Division right now, and we'll see what Boston can do. I mean, a lot of people were thinking, stuff going around. Oh, Marchand and Pasternak, they don't really like each other. Trying to make a Bruins, like JT Miller and Elias Pettersson in Vancouver. They don't like each other. Like, not every teammate's going to like each other. It happens. But we'll see what Boston can do. Can they keep that turnaround going? I mean, losing 6 straight, breaking that streak. Let's see if they can start a positive streak now. Number 20. Now, I never really know what to do about these guys. They're 3-3-4 in their last 10. And they just, I don't know. I mean, I dropped them 1 spot. It just, they're so hard to judge right now. That's Vancouver. So, I mean, the Vancouver Canucks are, I don't know. I don't know what they are right now. With Demko being out with back spasms, and again the Pettersson Miller rift and all that so many in Vancouver media make such a big deal about. I don't necessarily think it's that big of an issue. People are saying, oh, which one's going to get traded? Or is one going to get traded? Are both going to get traded? Are neither going to get traded? I don't know. But yeah, Vancouver, they've had their struggles this year, and we'll see if they can battle through it. Number 19. Now, they dropped 2 spots. They were a team also that was in this row that ended up dropping, but they kind of moved up a little bit. But they still ended up down 2, and that's Ottawa. Now, the Senators, for a brief time, were above the playoff line. They are not now, but they were. They were above the playoff line, and can they get back above that playoff line. I would love to see them get back above that playoff line. I think that would be great. Can they? I don't know. It would be cool to see, but Ottawa's, they've had their moments. They had a really nice win tonight, winning 5-0, and it just, yeah, Ottawa has their moments now. Even though Allmark is still, he's battling his own injuries and stuff, but can Ottawa still, there's still plenty of time for Ottawa to get back in there and get back above that playoff line. Number 18, dropping 4 from the week prior. They went 1-2 on the week. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10. They did lose their last game, and I might have honestly had them a little too high last week. So yeah, they kind of drop a little bit this week. I mean, only winning one of your 3, and that's St. Louis. So still got the Blues. The Blues are number 18. They are not. I mean, again, Jim Montgomery, the coach, and we'll see what they can do. They're in a very tough division. It is going to be very hard, I think, to find a way to get above the playoff line, especially in that division. That division is so tough. And, now could St. Louis get a playoff spot out of the division? Of course they could. It's entirely possible. Will they? Well, we'll see. Number 17. Now, this team moved up 4 spots. Now, they had a game that they were supposed to play that was postponed. They were supposed to play a game against LA that was postponed because of the fires going on in Los Angeles. But even with that, they still went 2-0 on the week. And, I mean, they've done pretty well. They ended up moving up 4 spots, and that's Calgary. Now, I must admit, when I saw the game that the Kings were supposed to have a game in LA that they had to postpone, I had to chuckle. And I full disclosure, I literally kind of chuckled when I found out the team they were supposed to play was the Calgary Flames. When you're talking about, Los Angeles, California, literally being in flames. So I did kind of chuckle at that. I mean, I fully apologize for anybody who's going through any of that, because that's some brutal stuff going on down there. But and they don't have a date yet for when they will play that game. But I think in Calgary's they've made the best of it so far. Like I said, we don't know when they're going to make that game up. They will most likely make it up at some point, probably toward the end of the season. And yeah, just hopefully everybody in LA can get their stuff straightened out, get the fires under control, and the Kings can start playing some home games again. I know the Viking playoff game got moved from SoFi to where the Arizona Cardinals play because of it. So, we'll see. And yeah, so Calgary's at 17 this week. Number 16. Now, this was the biggest mover, and they've played really well, and kind of surprising. I mean, they're 7-2-1 of their last 10. They've won 4 in a row, and yeah, they've moved up 10 spots. Hello, Columbus. What is going on with what? The Columbus Blue Jackets. Holy cow! Look at them. They have just all of a sudden kind of exploded. I mean, they kind of came out of nowhere all of a sudden. They're playing well. They're playing very well. They're getting good goaltending. And I mean, yeah, they're on a 4-game winning streak, and they're looking pretty darn good. I mean, Columbus out of the Columbus in the top half of the board. Who'd ever thought that? Definitely kind of surprised me. Now you want to talk about a surprise is the team at number 15. They moved up 7 spots. They made a coaching change, and man, has that coaching change helped? At number 15, winners of 6 in a row, moving up 7 spots is Detroit. So, excuse me. The Red Wings. Red Wings in the top half of the board. Don't think we ever expected that. Oh, sorry. I'm like having a little coughing fit. Still trying to get rid of that cough from a couple of weeks ago. But Detroit, yeah, the Detroit Red Wings at 15, shocking. It's good though. I mean, they're climbing out of that hole that they'd been in, and they're looking pretty good doing it. And yeah, I mean, winning 6 in a row, it's definitely a good way to get out of that hole. Can they maintain it? That's the thing. Can they maintain it? Number 14, dropping 1 spot from the week prior. But they 2-1-1 they went this week. 4-5-1 in the last 10, and this is a team they've kind of stayed in this particular area for a good chunk of the year, and that's Tampa again. Tampa at 14. They are. I mean, Vasilevsky, Hedman, Kucherov, Point, Gensel. The talent is there, but it's just sometimes the results aren't. And Tampa, I don't know. I mean, they lost. They lost again. They lost today, and I don't know. Tampa's an odd team right now. We're not sure what the consistency for them is. Definitely an issue, and we'll see if they can get that turned around. Number 13, this team moved up 3 spots, and these guys have played really well. Even though they did lose they did lose the game tonight in a shootout. These guys, the Montreal Canadiens, the Canadiens being 13, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Definitely kind of interesting. Can they maintain that though? They've been on a nice little roll. Lately. Can they maintain it? That's what I'm curious of. I hope they do. I wouldn't mind if they were a team that snagged one of those playoff spots. Because Toronto's got to have something to doom and gloom about. If they, for a team to end up, getting in the playoffs, that they might end up having to play. Yeah, Montreal might be one of those teams that they see and are like, really? We'll see. We'll see if the Habs can keep it going. Number 12, dropping 1. They lost they lost in overtime against Boston, and these guys are the epitome of Jekyll and Hyde. That's Florida, the defending champions. So the reigning defending champions are literally showing that they have some Jekyll and Hyde tendencies here. They look great in 1 or 2 games, and then they just fall flat. I don't know. I honestly think they're one of those teams. They're just like, let's get through the season. Let's get to the playoffs. Then we turn it on. And that seems to be kind of what Florida's doing here. They are looking like a team that, we're going to be a playoff team. Once we get to the playoffs, then we'll show you who we are. And I think that's kind of what Florida's doing right now. And yeah, so I mean, they're number 12. We'll see if they can keep moving, if they can move up, or if they keep sliding down. We'll have to see. Number 11, dropping 3 spots. These guys have had not the greatest couple of weeks. Even though they went 2-0-1 on the week, they're only 5-4-1 in their last 10. And these guys ended up dropping, but again, they kind of got passed by a couple of teams too, and that's New Jersey. So the Devils are still a really good team. They're still second in the Metro, and they are a team that's definitely in needing to be watched. They have their moments with Hughes, Heischer, Markstrom and Allen and net. They're a good team. They are a very good team, and I honestly, I can't see them, moving down any further. I really can't. I think for them, it's only going to be uphill now. That's kind of what I think, or up, up higher, in the on the board. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Kind of what I'm saying, if I can actually put the right words together. But New Jersey is number 11. Number 10, dropping 3 spots. These guys did. They started off the week 2-0, and then they turned around and they've lost 2 in a row. And they haven't been that great. The last 2 games, they have not been that great. And just they were in the top row, and just when you think, can they maintain the top row? No, they drop right back down. That's Toronto. So the Leafs are 10. I don't know about the Leafs. I don't know. They are a team that is very confusing. They can look like world beaters one game, and then the next game, like the game against Vancouver tonight, they got shut out 3-0, and it was ugly. It was an ugly game. And I don't know. I don't know what Toronto's dealing with or what they're going through, but Toronto not great. Not great lately. They need to get that turned around. Number 9, moving up 3 spots. They've won 2 in a row. They went 3-1 on the week. They've had a good run. They've had a good run this week, and that's Carolina. So the Hurricanes, are doing better. They're looking better. The win they had against Toronto was a really nice win, a good statement win, even though they had fallen. They started out slow. They fell behind, but they climbed back into the game. And they ended up getting a win against Toronto, and they've looked okay. They've looked pretty decent, and they're just on the outside of the top row. We'll see if they can get into the top row next week. Number 8, dropping 4 spots. This team literally looks like a mash unit. With a lot of their big talent, they're all hurt. And they played a game against Colorado, and they got destroyed, as was kind of figured. But again, like I said, this team is looking like a mash unit, kind of like the Detroit Lions defensive line with all their injuries. And that's Minnesota. So, but the Wild, they stay in the top row. They're still in the top row. Because even with those injuries, they're still putting points. They're still getting points. They're still second in the division. They're trying their darndest to keep ahead of Dallas and Colorado, who, by the way, you still have not seen Dallas or Colorado yet. Minnesota, even with all the injuries, they're trying to maintain. They're trying to maintain. And until some of these guys get back. Kaprizov has been skating, but he's still not near a return yet. And I don't know. Minnesota's just trying to plug along, and we'll see how they do next week. Number 7, moving up 2 spots. They had a pretty good week. They went 2-0-1 on the week, 6-2-2 in their last 10, and that's Winnipeg. So the Jets, they are still in first place in the Central Division. Not by very much, but they are still in first place. And yeah, they've got 3 teams breathing down their necks. And can they keep ahead of them? I don't know. But yeah, they're trying their darndest to keep that lead in the division. We'll see if they can keep it up. Number 6. Now these guys stayed in the same spot. They went 7-2-1 in the last 10. However, they went 2-2 this week. And yeah, they stay in the same spot. Colorado. So the Avalanche. Now, as I've said, that's the team I fully expect to overtake all the others. I fully expect them to overtake Dallas, Minnesota, and Winnipeg to capture that division. That is what I'm thinking is probably going to happen. Because Colorado, they're too good. They're so good. And I just think Colorado, they got, the injuries got worked out, the goaltending got worked out, and they're looking lethal. They are looking very lethal right now. Speaking of looking lethal right now, the team at number 5 that's moved up 5 spots. They're 8-1-1 in the last 10. They have won now 7 in a row. And yeah, you want to talk about lethal? Hello, Dallas. So the Dallas Stars are in the top 5. They've looked really good. I mean, winning 7 in a row, you look good. Ottinger's been great. The team as a whole has been phenomenal. And yeah, I mean, they win 10 in a row or 7 in a row. They're looking good. They're in 3rd place in the division. They're not that far out. I believe they're only like 3 or 4 points behind first place Winnipeg. Like they're only 2 points behind Minnesota. But yeah, I mean, look at the teams here. From 8 to 5 are all Central Division teams. Shows how strong that division is. When you got 4 of those teams, the top 4 teams in that top row. Pretty good, pretty strong division. Number 4, dropping 1 spot from a week ago. They went 2-1 on the week. They're 7-2-1 in the last 10. They did win their last game, and these guys, I think they got passed really, and that's just it was kind of hard to keep them exactly in the same spot for I think what would have been 3 weeks in a row. Almost did though, and that's Edmonton. So the Oilers are number 4, and the Oilers are a dangerous team. They're a very dangerous team that I think can make some noise. And, come playoff time, we'll have to see what they can do. But yeah, I mean, Edmonton's looking good. I don't think they'll catch Vegas for the division, but again, it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how it works. Number 3, moving up 2 spots. And again, I thought about, flipping these teams, but I just thought this team is just playing a smidge better currently. And, they went 2-0-2 on the week, and it's Washington. So the Capitals are a team that Ovechkin is, what is he at? 873, 874? Right now, he's only like 20 behind Gretzky for the goal record. Will he hit it this year? I don't know. I would love it. I would love it if he did. But, Washington has still played really well. They are the leaders in the Metro Division right now, and they're a really, really good team, and they're showing it. I mean, especially when Ovechkin was out hurt, their depth came through and they showed, hey, we can win without our star. And yeah, they're doing all right. Number 2, dropping one spot. These guys have been on just a roll. I mean, a roll. They've looked like a complete wagon. They had a little bit of a run here to end the week. They lost 2 in a row, and because of that, they dropped the one spot. That's Vegas. So Vegas is at number 2. Clearly, I think they have the best record in the league. They're playing phenomenally. I mean, every team's going to hit a little bump like that, and I mean, this is Vegas's turn to hit that little bit of a bump. And the team that overtook them, even though they did lose their game tonight, they went 1-1 on the week. They're 6-2-2 in the last 10, and they're playing really good. And this is not because of everything that is going on in that state. But number 1 this week, LA. The LA Kings, even though they had a game postponed, the game against Calgary was postponed. Like I said, we don't know when that's going to be made up. They'll figure that out. I'm pretty sure that'll be done toward the end of the season. But LA is looking really good. Darcy Kemper looking fantastic. Doughty, Byfield, Kopitar. I mean, those guys, they are phenomenal. Philip Deneau. That's a really, really darn good team right now. They're playing some of the best hockey that you could play. They're definitely playing their best hockey of the season. And yeah, it's some of the best hockey that I've watched is the Kings, and they're looking all right. And this week, they are number 1 on this week's Power Performance Index. What do you guys think of this week's P.P.I? Let me know in the comments section. Who do you think? Who do you think is in the wrong spot? Do you think I moved some of these teams too high, too low? How crazy do you think I am for having some of these teams where they are? Do you think I belong in a straitjacket for where I have some of these teams? Let me know in the comments section below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and share this video with your friends, with family, with whoever. If there's anybody out there who's a hockey fan that tell them about the channel. I would love to have every hockey fan in the world to join me here. That would be phenomenal. And yeah, so that is the Power Performance Index for this week. And let me know what you guys think. And again, hit like and subscribe. Go ahead and share the video or any video that you would like to on the channel. Go ahead and share them all if you would like. And I will see you guys later.